welcome back, guys, and let's start discussing with the Azure Storage Services. So, what is Azure Storage Services? Let me go to the next. So, a storage account provides a unique namespace for your Azure storage data that accessible from anywhere in the world of HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP means if you are inside the network, or maybe you have a private kind of infrastructure, or depend upon your you using a private or public subnet, and accordingly you are working on it. So you have to decide accordingly. So data in this account is secure, highly available, durable, and massively scalable. So let's little bit discuss about what is Azure storage account. Okay, so let me go to this page, Azure storage account, right? So let's go to the services directly, and let me see here, storage account. Click here. Okay, so basically in Azure, whenever you're going to a Microsoft Azure user, you must know about creating storage services and comparison between what type of storage available on Azure side. And we must know about the storage tiers, redundancy options, okay, and we have to check, storage account option and storage types. Identify the option for moving files, including AzCopy, Azure Storage Explorer, and Azure File Syncs. And the migration option, obviously, including Azure Migrate and Azure Data Box. So this is what we're going to discuss in our, in this video. So if I talk about when you create a storage account, right? So you will start by picking the storage account type. The type of account determine, uh, you know, the storage services and redundancy option, and has an impact on the use cases. So it's depend upon the use cases, right? So, so there are a few types we have to must know about is locally redundant, that is called LRS, right? So, and geo-redundant, GRS, read access geo-redundant storage, that is called RAGRS. And zone redundant storage, geo zone redundant storage, GZRS, and read access geo zone redundant storage. Okay. This is what it shows here. Okay, so type is showing here in this dialog box, and support services, redundancy option, and uses. So that is standard general purpose, that is blob storage, premium blobs, blob storage, okay, premium file share for Azure files, and premium page. So we're going to discuss about these things only, right? Okay. So Azure Storage account is having a unique namespace in Azure for data types. So even you see this, storage services and endpoints, we can create, blob. So this is how it's create an available for access. So these are the types of storage account available for the Microsoft Azure, right? Okay. So standard general purpose blob storage, that is, standard storage account type of blobs file share, queues and tables. Recommended for most scenarios using a storage. So suppose if you want to support for network file share system NFS in Azure files, we have to use the premium file share account type. And same way we have to premium block blobs. So blob storage including data lake storage, LRS and ZRS, like premium storage account. Type for block blobs and append blobs. Okay. So this is how it looks like. So same way, we have to go with one by one, right? So if I go to create a storage account, I'll just create here, click. And it's a free trial account, so that is fine. I'm going to put in the same resource group, and instance type is just you just give any name, EZSTACC1. Okay. ESTS, I'm saying the is one already taken. Okay. All right. So standard or premium, this is how you have to choose. Okay, and redundancy, you have to decide which redundancy we have to choose. So it will give you bunch of options. Whatever the options you need as per your requirement or scenarios, you have to do it. Okay, simple. And going down, you have to click on next. So I'm choosing the simple one, like locally redundant LRS, right? Click on next. Now it will give us the REST APIs options, allow enabling anonymous access on the individual containers. No, if you tick it, so anybody can check it. Okay, enable storage. So this is how you basically choose for the access one, the latest, always choose. Okay, go to the networking part. Enable full public access from all network. Okay. Enable public access for selected virtual network and IP addresses. So this is what you have to restrict it over here and disable public access and use private access. So this is what you can do. But this is a Azure Architect course. It's not a 104 like administration course. Okay. So we little bit talk about the scenarios and all, right? So storage account endpoints, what do you understand from it? So one of the basic benefit of using an Azure storage account for having a unique namespace in Azure for your data. So every storage account in Azure must have a unique in Azure account name. The combination of the account name and the Azure storage service endpoint from the endpoint for your storage account. So, so when naming your storage account, we have to keep in mind storage account name must be between 3 to 24 characters in length and may contains numbers and lowercase and letters only. And your storage account name must be unique with Azure. Within the Azure, no two storage account can be have the same name. So naming convention is very important over here. So this supports the ability to have a unique accessible namespace in Azure, right? So this is what I was talking about the namespace, and we're going here, all right? And moving to the next. I'm sorry, I missed this redundancy option here. Okay. So this is redundancy in the primary region, data in Azure. So this is what you have to know about. What is LRS? What is ZRS? Okay. And where is the copy basically creates itself. So let me discuss about this little bit. Okay. So redundancy, just talk about, how your data is replicated in the primary region. Whenever your data is replicated to a second region that is geographically distant to the primary region to protect against regional disasters. Whenever your application requires and read access to the replication data in the secondary region, if the primary region becomes unavailable. So redundancy in the primary region, kind of data in a Azure data account, Azure storage account, it is always replicated 3 times in the primary region. Okay, so this is what it's showing here: copy one, copy two, and copy through. All right. And LRS means replicate your data 3 times within a single data center in the primary region. LRS provides at least 11 nines of durability of object over a given year. Right. So this is what 11.9 means: highly available. Okay. So storage account, according to the creator, multiple copy of. So LRS is the lowest cost redundancy option and offers the least durability compared to other option. LRS protect your data against server rack and drive failure. However, if a disaster such as fire or flooding occurs the data center, all replication of storage account using LRS may be lost or unrecoverable. So this is the problem with this. So that's why we have to use a zone redundancy. So zone redundancy means for availability zone, right? Yeah, zone redundancy. For availability zone, this is the redundance zone redundance. So multiple, your copy will be distributed across the availability zones. This is what it's showing in a simple way, right? But if I talk about, availability zones, redundance storage, ZRS replicates your Azure storage data synchronously across 3 Azure availability zone in the primary region. And ZRS offers delivery of Azure storage data object of at least 12 lines. Okay. So redundancy in second region. Okay, so let me go to the next. What it mean? This is very important, guys. So for application requiring high durability, you can choose to additionally copy the data in a storage account to a secondary region that is there is hundreds of miles away from the primary region. So what happen if something goes, I mean, a mishap happen, what it is, you at least get the readable kind of access till this primary one is, come up online. You can just simply, right? So because data is replicated to the secondary region asynchronously, a failure that affects the primary region may result in data loss if the primary region can't be recovered. The internal between the most recent writes to the primary region and the last write to the secondary region is known as the recovery point objective, RPO. The RPO indicates the point in time to which data can be recovered. Azure Storage typically has no RPO of less than 15 minutes, although there are currently no SLA and no how long it takes to replicate data to the secondary region. Okay. So geo-redundant storage. So geo-redundant, primary region, secondary region. So this you have a locally redundant storage and you have a three copy, right? Geo-replicated effects happen locally in another data center in different region, or you can say the secondary region. You have another three copy, but GRS copies your data synchronously three times within a single physical located in the primary region using LRS. If the copies your data synchronously to a single physical location in the second region, the region pair using LRS GRS offers the durability of Azure storage data object of at least 16.9. So this over a given year, right? And this GeoZone redundant storage, so geo replication. So read access to the data in the secondary region. This is the secondary region, and you will get the at least the readable access. So GRS is designed GZRS is designed to provide at least 16 nines of durability object over a given year. Okay, so what is this about? Everything. So we have two little bit is a data protection, encryption, tags, and review. So this is how you create a storage account. So I'm not going to create a storage account, but I just want to show you. So this is what it's required, right? So one more thing. Um, Redundancy. So we have to remember local redundant storage, zero redundant storage, redundancy in a secondary region, geo redundant storage, right? Geo zone redundant storage, and read access to the data in the secondary region. So this is what it's all about. Okay. Now we have to talk about Azure storage services. So Azure Storage Services is Azure Storage Platform includes the uh, I think one, two, three, four, five type of data services, right? Five type of data services. You see this? So first one is the Azure Blobs, Azure Files, Azure Queues, Component, Azure Disk, and Azure Table. So what is this all about? So Azure Blobs, a massive scalable object store for text and binary data, also includes support for big data analytics, though data lake storage and kind of generation too. And Azure Files is a massively scalable object to store for text and binary data. Also includes support for big data analytics, uh, you know, through data lakes and storage generation too. So this is for the Azure blobs. But Azure Files manage file share for a cloud on on-premises deployment. Azure Queues, a messaging store for a reliable messaging between application component. Azure Disk, block level storage, volume for Azure VMs. Azure Tables, no SQL table option for a structured, non-relational data. Okay. So durability and highly availability, this is secure. All data returned to the Azure Storage account is encrypted by the services. Azure Storage provides you both you with fine grain control over who has access to your data. Scalability is there, manageability is there. So Azure handles hardware maintenance, updates, and critical issues for you. Accessibility, data in Azure storage is accessible from anywhere in the world over HTTP and HTTPS. So Microsoft provides clients libraries for Azure storage in a variety of language, including .NET, Java, Node.js, Python, PHP, Ruby, Go, and other, as well as mature REST APIs, right? Even you can Storage supports scripting in Azure PowerShell and Azure CLI, and the Azure Portal and Azure Storage Explorer offer easy visual solution for working with your data. Okay. So let's little bit talk about what is Azure Blobs. Okay, in the next. Okay, this is what we discuss about it. So Azure Blobs. So Azure Blobs is an object storage solution for the cloud. It can store massive amount of data such as text or binary data. So blob storage is ideal for serving images or document directly to a browser, storing files for distributed access, streaming videos and audio, storing data for backup and restore disaster recovery, and archiving also. Storing data for analysis by an on-premises or Azure hosted services, right? Okay. So accessing blob storage, object in blob storage can be accessed from anywhere in the world. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS client. Okay. So let's talk about a little bit about blob storage tiers. Okay, blob storage tiers. So let me go to the next and see this. Okay. So accessing blob storage, the blob storage tiers, you can say. So data stored in the cloud can grow at an exponential pace. To manage cost for your expanding storage needs, okay, it's helpful to organize your data based on attributes like frequency of access and planned retention period. Data stored in the cloud can be handled differently based on how it's generated, processed, and accessed over its lifetime. Some data is actively accessed and modified throughout its lifetime. Some data is accessed frequently early in its lifetime, which access dropping drastically as the data ages. Some data remains idle in the cloud and it's rarely accessed. Okay, so if ever accessed after it's stored, to accommodate these different access needs. So depend upon your scenario, what is your use, okay, on the Azure. So Azure provides several access tiers, which is defined as a many tier, like, okay, so this is the example, hot access tier. Optimize for storing data that is accessed frequently, for example, images of for your website. Cool access tier, optimize for data that is infrequently accessed and stored for at least 30 days, for example, invoices for your customer. Cold access tier optimized for storing data that is infrequently accessed and stored for at least 90 days. Archiving tiers appropriate for data that is rarely accessed and stored at least 180 days within flexible latency requirement. For example, long-term backups. Okay. So this is what I love about. So hot and cool access tier can be set at the account level. The cold and archive access tiers are not available at the account level. Remember it. Hot, cool, cold, and archive tiers can be set at the blob level during or after upload. Data in the cool and cold access tiers can tolerate slightly lower availability, but it still requires high durability, retrieval latency, and throughput characteristics similar to hot data. For cool and cold data, a lower availability service level agreement SLA and higher access cost compared to hot data or accessible trades off for lower storage cost. Archiving storage data offline and offers to the lowest storage cost, but also the highest cost to rehydrate and access data. So whenever you're doing the backup on archiving the data, don't try to access very frequently. Otherwise, you have to give them more price. All right. So this is why archiving is there. So Azure Files. Azure Files, what the benefit of is shared access. You can just like a file share of your, whenever we use in your older fashion or on premises environment, same thing is there Azure Files. Okay, you can access over APIs. So this is and patching. So you don't need to deal with the patching and all. So this is what about. It's also Azure CLI supports mounting. Okay, so the kind of external storage which is mount and accessible across the network. Okay, same type of this is your file. So this is what I mean. it's a fully managed. Okay. Next topic is Azure Queues. So Azure Queue Storage is a service for storing large number of messages. One stored, you can access the message from anywhere in the world via authenticated calls using HTTP or HTTPS. Okay. So a queue can contains as many messages as your storage account has room for potentially millions. Each individual messages can be up to 64 KB in size. Queues are commonly used to create backlogs of work to process asynchronously. Queue storage can be combined with a compute function like Azure function to take an action when a message is received. All right. So I'm not going to more dig on this. Okay, we'll talk later on this, whenever we create a solutions. Okay. So Azure Disk. Azure Disk Storage, Azure Managed Disk are block level storage volumes managed by Azure for use the Azure VMs. So this particular thing is, we have to use only with the virtual machines. Okay. Azure Tables. Azure Tables storage stores large amount of structured data. Azure Tables are NoSQL data store that accept authentication calls from inside and outside the Azure cloud. Okay. So this is what is all about. So let's try to create a storage account. Okay. So I was about to create it. I will show you, but I'm going to create it again. So I'm going to use this particular resource group. All right. And this is storage account name. So account storage one, that is clear. Standard I'm using GRS. Click on next. Networking, we have to choose enable public access for all the networks. So enable public access, okay, that is fine. Endpoint production time stores, I'm not going to put this, enable delete. So this is what we have to practice, guys, okay? Encryption, managed key, MMK, custom managed keys, you can show blobs, files and only, all services type blobs, files and table and queues. So you can also put all the kind of, security, okay, customer managed keys. Next is tagging, as per, put your tag like which departments belongs to, and what is the value for this, okay, resources. Review this, so it will go to here a running final validation. Wait for it and just click on the create. So it will start deployment, right? So we will talk in the next topic is Azure Identity Access and Security, right? So let's get created and I will show you about the how it's get created, right? So it's going to take near about 3 to 4 minutes or maybe 5 minutes. So account one is created. So let me go to storage and click on the storage account. It's not created yet. Yes. So whenever it's your deployment is, so I'm doing this manual, right? I'm not using any automation right now, but I will teach you later in coming videos how to create a, automation kind of a script and all for this. So first we are trying to understand the Azure portals and all. So this is the storage account. When I click the storage account, you will see, uh, your containers, blob, file share, queues, tables. This is the 4 items. So this is what I want to show you. I want to show you guys, okay? Same way you can create your containers and start working on it, right? File share. So this is how you going to manage in a very simple way. You don't need any server patching, OS, or managing for these things. Okay, even you can give the access, whoever going to access, only that kind of people only go to access these storage account, right? So event manager, data migration, storage browser, you can browse this. Okay, blob container you want to browse. If you put something, you can browse it from here. Yes, you see this. Create some access key over here, but I have not created anything here, so that is fine. You can create and try to access this. So next video, we will talk about Azure Identity Access and Security, right? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We'll see you in next video.